The 44 Pro 574 is basically a copycat of the Rawlings Pro 200, but that is one of my favorite glove models to ever exist. So the fact that they're going to mimic it a little bit is probably a good thing. This one here is 11.5 inches. You can see that we have our eye web on there, red, yellow, and purple laces. My goal for the video is to let you know if the 574 is a good or a bad choice for each one of you out there. It's not the perfect glove, not everybody's going to like it, but I've got some good things to say about it. Anybody who likes a Rawlings glove, I would just automatically say this is a pretty good option. Now, as you can see, the 574 has no welting in between the fingers. I believe this ends up making the glove a bit more comfortable, but that means there's less leather on it, which means it could get slightly softer, slightly quicker. While yes, that is true, I still will pick this over the Pro 44 model. Without having the welting in between those fingers, it almost feels like the leather is wrapping around each finger rather than just having it flat on top. I think it makes it more comfortable in the end. This glove is also likely going to be easier to break in than the other models because there's less leather on. By leather, I mean welting. There's less welting. You're going to benefit the most if you are a 2-hinge style break-in. You can do the one, but the glove is definitely going to benefit the most from that 2-hinge. Now, a lot of times you'll hear that this is supposed to be a medium to deep pocket, and while yes, that is true, it leans a little bit deep. For example, I would not wear this glove 2 in the pinky. 2 in the pinky, it would feel way too deep. It would feel like it's sinking back a ton into the glove. When I wear it traditional, I absolutely love it. This has actually been a shelf glove for a really long time, so I'm super pumped to actually field some ground balls with this thing. I remember really liking it a lot, but it's been a while. Speaking of which, when I picked this thing up, it was so dry. So I used my Sarna glove conditioner. It's what I use on all my gloves. The link is in the description. Now, with this being deeper, if you're playing third, honestly, you would probably benefit a lot from this. You can go up to 12 inches, I believe, on the 44 custom builder. But if you're a middle infielder who specifically doesn't like a deep pocket, it might not be the best option. You can 1000% use this for middle infield, but my point is that it's not exactly shallow. If I had to pick one model from 44, it's probably gonna be this one. I do like it a lot. But let's actually go take some ground balls. I have not gotten to like actually field with this in a very long time, so I'm actually pretty excited. Yeah, this thing feels wonderful. I am feeling so confident with this glove. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I feel like I'm actually taking things off like my palm a lot more versus like just using the web. The reality is the safest and easiest way to catch a ball is using like your web, right? It doesn't really hurt. With ground balls, we want to use our palm, and this glove feels perfect for that. Our heel and our palm feel perfectly wide enough to where I'm able to easily get my hand in and out. But if it were any bigger, the ball wouldn't be very stable. It would feel very loose and open. Let's take some with this just to kind of see how it compares. The first major difference is just that the leather is so much different. We're going from like kip leather on that 44 to just like classic steer hide on this Rawlings. Now, as much as I like this one and our 44, this glove definitely feels a little bit smaller overall, and I'm actually more comfortable with the 44. I'm pretty surprised by that, honestly. I was expecting to prefer this by quite a bit more. They both have a very similar feel, but ultimately our 44 is just built wider. You can definitely see by this angle. Everybody has to decide what they like, but I personally felt very comfortable with this, very smooth, and what was happening was I was receiving everything off of our palm a lot more. This is something I should have talked about before. Look at how far my hand goes into this glove. It basically disappears. Now, this is a little unusual for me because a lot of times I'm going 2 in the pinky, or just the way I wear my glove, my hand sticks out a little bit. It usually looks something like this. I was honestly pretty dang surprised at how much I liked it. Because my hand is so deep into this glove, whenever I'm catching a ball, it's like my entire hand grabbing it right here. Typically, if your hand is a little bit backed up, you have a little bit more of your fingertips holding that ball, which isn't necessarily bad, but I just felt like I had so much control, and I loved it. We have one more thing about 44 that's really no bueno. We're gonna take more ground balls and talk about it. So, my big thing with 44 is that the gloves are pretty dang inconsistent. Now, most of them are gonna turn out very similar, but the thing is compared to Rawlings and Wilson, for example, 44 gloves are kind of different every time you get one. Now, nothing major, like the 574 pattern is the 574 pattern. They're not gonna give you a different model. Yours might end up being deeper or more shallow than mine, just subtle differences that maybe a lot of people won't even notice.
Yeah, like I just love the way this feels. This is where I'm catching a lot of them. Just like that. So sweaty that I slid for like a foot. Somehow that didn't result in turf burn. I'm sweaty enough to where it was like goo. I just love this glove. Might need to get another one of these, like an updated one. Oh, yeah. Finish on something fun. Not fun enough. Not fun enough at all. Do a flip. The whole cool thing isn't working today. Oh, wait. 44, good job with the 574, let's go.
This isn't exactly my favorite looking glove, but it's definitely my favorite model from 44. Speaking of favorites, out of all my 50 to 60 gloves, I mean, I like all of them, but I do have a top 5.